Okay, so we are going to be creating our interior elevations. I'm going to need to I've created an new design layer and I've called it my interior elevations. Am going to have my main floor visible so I can reference off of that. And in this case, I'm going to be doing the kitchen. And so for this current layout, I'm going to have two elevations, one of this wall, one of that wall. So I'm going to use the line tool and I'm just going to bring down my elevation markers. So what I can do is I can do the inside of my wall. So we're doing the interior elevation, so it's going to be what's visible on the interior. All right, here I have my pantry. I'm going to see the outside of that. And I'm not going to, this stuff I could show hidden, right? So we can kind of do that right now. I'm just going to snap off what's visible. So the corner cabinet here. I'm not going to do my upper cabinet yet just because those two lines are going to get quite confused otherwise. And then so I've done my vertical grid lines and now I'm going to do my horizontal elevation heights. So I'm just going to start with the floor. Now I want to go into my line weight class. And I'm going to draw my floor line. So in this case, we have done, in the rest of this plan, we have done 9-foot ceilings. So our 9-foot ceilings are framing to framing is actually 9'1". So in this case, I'm going to move this line up 9'1", and that is going to be, and actually this is the drywall of my wall. And before I go any further, I'm actually gonna do this wall as well. And I'm gonna box in that whole space. So using my rectangle tool, these are not.
9'1" because you have 1/2" drywall on top and then your flooring.
Sorry, what?
It's 9'1" because you have 1/2" drywall on your.
1/2" drywall on the top on your ceiling and then your flooring. So then you have 9 feet of finished space, or 8 feet if it's an 8'1" ceiling, right? So I'm going to use my rectangle tool. There we go, and not that. And there is my wall that I'm going to be drawing an elevation and detailing. So I have my cabinets. These are what these snap down lines are. And then I'm also going to be drawing my door. So I'm going to also need my 6'8", duplicate, move. This goes up 6'8". So that's going to be for my door. There's also a window that I'm going to have to draw. I'm going to draw that there. I should probably do the doors and windows first, but I have my cabinets. So this first line is the side of my pantry cabinet. And then these are my base cabinets here that I'm going to see. So we are going to draw our toe kick. Duplicate, move that up 4 inches. And from here for the top of my cabinet, duplicate, move up 3 feet. And I can duplicate, move that down minus 1.5. So that is going to work for the base cabinet was this side. And then what I can do is I can fill them in with rectangles. I can use solid fill, or I could also just use the outline if I wanted to. This is going to be the countertop. This line was the pantry. Okay, interior design help. What's gonna be the top of my full height pantry cabinet? 91. Okay. Duplicate, move that up 91. So that goes from there.
That's her 8 foot.
No, 90 inches is,
9?
the one I just did work was 90 inches, but I don't know how.
That's her 8.
No, because 8 isn't 86.
Oh yeah, that's 8 feet.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right.
90 is good.
90 or 91?
Mine's 90, but I don't know.
Okay.
We do 91.
Okay.
So we all different.
Okay.
Put it on the top of the upper cabinets?
Yeah,
Oh, that can be like whatever you want to do.
right.
But if there just needs to be an
Standard is
18
90,
inches
91
between.
somewhere.
Okay, okay. I'll leave it how it is. It looks good. It works. Okay, so that's my window and door height. This is my countertop, so I don't actually need these anymore because I drew that. And now this is where your design expertise is going to come in detailing these elevations. So you've kind of laid out your kitchen, how you wanted to design it, and this is where you're going to use your knowledge to lay out your cabinets. So here I'm going to visually I'm going to see that full height pantry cabinet. Behind it, this is that sloping angled diagonal sink cabinet. This is that corner where it changes direction to full horizontal base cabinets here. I'm going to do a rectangle for a toe kick. And even here I can minus this 1 inch to give it a bit of definition.
I don't think you would see the toe kick on the side of the pantry.
It's not, oh right,
If it's facing like this way.
right, so it would be like,
Yeah.
well, you'd see it would notch out
It would just
this,
be full length.
right?
It would just be full length on the side.
Right.
You would usually have a side panel.
But you would see the
Side
intent.
panel.
Like
Right
around the
here.
side.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't get super specific with that right now, just because I can get rid of that line.
I like the wall, like, that's wrong, that's.
This is not my expertise, this is yours, and this is where I'm leaving it up to you. Okay, so I have my cabinets in place, so I'm going to delete all my guidelines. I'm going to use, now I want to include my window and doors. So depending on what point I reference, I have to remember that when I'm drawing my door. So if I'm using this point of reference, that's going to be, and actually I'll go, that's going to be the edge of outside of the door panel, right? So around it is still the trim and the jambs. So using my rectangle tool, I'll go in and my window. So I'm not going to see this. I might actually show it hidden. So this is the outside. And this is a 3 foot by 3'6" window. So here is minus 3'6". Okay. So there's my window, and I can draw part of it hidden and part of it visible. I can delete these guidelines. It's kind of, I've used them up. I don't need my head height anymore. So in this case, what I can use is I can use that split tool. And before I do that though, I'm gonna add a bit more detail. So the offset tool, I'm gonna do 3/4 of an inch and offset inside and do the outside, and I'm gonna offset that 3.5 inches. So I have trim. And so there's my window. I'm just gonna leave it like that. If I want, I can add some more details, so I can make it a horizontal slider, a single hung, a casement, an awning, whatever that is possible. Here I'm gonna use the split tool in line split mode, and I'm just gonna, before I do that, I have to select all 3 objects. Why isn't it letting me do that? There we go. Now I'll use that split tool and I'll go down the line. So these ones I want to make dashed, so I can easily just change that line type, and I will use. So I didn't have to like draw them separately, and actually I want a smaller dash. I like that better. So I can see that I'm showing that there is a window there. It's just partially visible here, and here it's hidden behind the pantry cabinets. Yep. Oh, okay, thought you had a question. Okay. So again, my door, I'm gonna add more detail. This one had the jamb on the outside. Oh, I did that. Okay. On the outside, I'm just going to use the offset tool, even though I just want this to offset on 3 sides. I'm going to offset it, and then just using my selection tool, I'm going to go up and just shrink that bottom. And then I want to add more trim, so I'm going to make this 3.5 inches. And again, going outside and using my selection tool and just shrinking this up. Okay, so I still have to do my upper cabinets, but does everybody have a pretty good idea of where we're at with this? We're also you're gonna wanna use, we're gonna note these drawings. So we can either use our dimension tool and show our elevation heights. We're gonna wanna make sure, in this case, I have these arrows. That's not the dimension standard we want. Once it's selected, I can go into my object info palette. I can change from ISO to architectural, and we want those slashes. To change it permanently, I can either go up into my dimension tool and change the dimension standard there, or I can go into my file, document settings, document preferences, and change the dimension standards there as well. Okay, so we're gonna go and we're gonna hit off all our elevation heights. We can also use our line tool and create elevation markers.